It's time for the Ravagers to rise once again to glory!
You are listening to The Ravager Report, a Fox Next Marvel Strike Force podcast dedicated to bringing you the latest news, information, and updates. With your hosts, Dorian.
It is a name what strikes fear into the hearts of anyone what hears it!
And Hebrew Hammer.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
Hello, and welcome to episode 19 of The Ravager Report. I am, as always, your faithful host, Dorian, and with me is the Honorable Hebrew Hammer. Hello, Hebrew. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good, buddy. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you. So we are coming to you live on the 1st of February, so a happy Lunar New Year to anybody who happens to celebrate or enjoys that holiday. So before we get into the news of the week, Hebrew, why don't you let everybody know what you've been up to?
So this week has been mostly just dealing with a ridiculous amount of homework. So I've been doing that, and then recovering from my cold that you probably heard that I had last week. And yeah, my girlfriend's coming tomorrow, so I've been prepping for that too. So just basically a lot of busy work. And then the news that we got today was super exciting. So I've been on the game a lot more today than I usually am. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did in the game. Or, I'm sorry, outside of the game. In game, been doing the normal stuff, you know, going through the motions, doing the raid. That's going to be gone soon. I can't believe how many shards I've gotten for Juggernaut, by the way, just from doing all of the free stuff. Like it really was like a really great setup. I never had to spend the $50 that I spent originally, or however much it was for him for that pack at the beginning, because he's almost 7 stars now, and I only need him at I don't really need him at anything in particular because the Brotherhood's kind of meh for me. But yeah, he's like all set. But now I am just focusing on trying to get my Kree up as fast as possible. But yeah, that's about it for me. What about you?
So this week, not much really has been going on outside of game. I got a new work laptop, which is always exciting. I always like shiny new boxes. Oh yeah, because it's always, you know, the fast new machine until I get into it and start playing with all the settings and slow it way the heck down. But that's what I does. In game. There hasn't been a whole lot that's gone on this week. I mean, I did get Scientist Supreme to 4 stars, so that was cool.
Ooh.
I'm still working on. Like 10 minutes before we started talking, I got Mystic 3.5 done, so now I can try the Mystic 3.6 to get Loki. And I'm going to take a look at our good buddy Combs put out a video today about doing 3.6. With kind of an interesting team comp, and so I may give that a shot and see what happens. But I've got to work on some of my Mystic, primarily Loki. So I put a little bit of work into Loki.
What's he at right now?
My Loki that's a very good question. Hold on one second here. My Loki is currently he's only at like 15K. He's level 51 tier 8.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's got a little bit of work to do.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we just took his passive up to level 3. Yay. So, yeah, I need to put some work into him and just do some Mystic work overall. I also am surprised I will be able to get Juggernaut the next bit of gold we get. I'll be able to get Juggernaut up to tier 6 or up to 6 stars.
Yeah.
So, that'll be nice.
Yeah,
not that I have Pyro or Mystique, so you know who cares about Brotherhood. But so yep. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it was a pretty solid week. We came in, I want to say top 3 to 10 for the season that just finished off. 3 to 10%, I should say.
Yeah,
and so. I'm trying to figure out who to rank up next. Really debating.
Kree.
No. Not a chance.
I suppose we'll learn more about your opinion on that later.
Yeah. Yeah, we probably will, because as everybody knows, we got Devblog 9 this week. So, unfortunately, this is the part of the show where we would go into data mines. However, there were really no new data mine information this week that we hadn't covered, I think, last week. So, I'm not gonna repeat all of that. I think the only thing new I really saw was the Empath Blitz, but we all know that's coming next Thursday. It'll be here on the 7th. They announced that in game. So, with that, we are going to jump directly into Devblog 9 because, Heber, I don't think there was really any big news this week, other than, obviously we missed a Devblog last week, which was supposed to be 2 this week, but, we only got 1.
Yeah.
So that was disappointing. Was there anything else big that happened this week that I'm forgetting?
I don't think so, other than the announcement of Mantis and everything like that, like you said, and then the dev blog, the one that came out today. So no, I think you got it all.
Well, there was
if anyone in the audience thinks of something, let us know. But I think we nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a small patch update that went out, but there were no patch notes. Unfortunately, I reached out to Fox Next, and they were like, "Man, it's just small, minor fixes." I was kind of like, "Well, what fixes?" And they're like, "I don't have the patch notes." I'm like, "Well, great, because neither do we." So I hate it when companies do that. If you're going to put out an update that fixes something, you should let us know what was fixed, unless you're just wanting to hide that there was something wrong in the first place.
Yeah,
so,
I don't like stealth updates, particularly from them.
Yeah, that's what I told them too. I was like, "Man, Ninja updates suck." So I do not like those at all.
Speaking of that, what was the gift? Whenever I logged on today, we got that gift.
Yeah, there was 100 cores, and I think there was a small server outage earlier this week. It's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, I mean, last night there was that outage where people were having trouble.
Yeah,
I totally, that slipped my mind. I wasn't able to get on very much yesterday, so yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was that. I hope that's not the quote unquote do good for the Orange Uniques. I really don't know.
I don't think they'll put one out for that.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do there. So we'll have to see. Yeah. But with that being said, we're going to jump directly into Devblog 9. So here we go. Hello, Commanders. 3 new recruits will soon join the battle. The Guardians of the Galaxy have docked their ship at Strike headquarters and are picking up their newest member, Mantis. Mantis' arrival provides new tactical options for the Guardians team and shakes up the role of Groot going forward. First, Groot has been updated to make room for Mantis and for increased overall strength. While Mantis is intended to serve as a persistent mode healer, Groot has been tweaked to increase survivability in one-off combats for modes such as Arena. Groot's special ability now provides a defense up to all allies in addition to all of its previous functionality. Additionally, Groot's ultimate ability has slightly increased heal and now removes negative effects more reliably. It also provides immunity to the lowest health Guardian ally, which gives Groot a slightly better chance to protect his best power rocket. Groot's passive has also gained a variety of functions. He now revives with more health and provides offense up, speed up, and counter to all Guardian allies when Groot is defeated. Additionally, whenever Groot is attacked, he slows his attackers. As Rocket gives Groot the taunt effect whenever Rocket uses his special, this combination of taunt and slow can provide considerable protection to the Guardians right from the beginning of the battle. So what did you think of Groot's rework so far? Have you had a chance to play around with him very much?
I haven't had a chance to play around with him as much as I have seen him in several different nodes. So I've seen him played a lot in Arena and stuff like that. So I've played against him on both fronts. But yeah, I really like it, and it did exactly what I had or thought was going to happen with him. As I mentioned last week, they made him more of the Arena Blitz guy, and then they made Mantis the sustained healer for raids and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I expected that. That's what happened, and I think that they now both have a really good place that they belong in. I really kind of appreciate that they did something like that. That way, each character feels viable in some way, and they didn't just basically make Groot old news whenever Mantis came out. And that being said, there's also potentially some times whenever Groot could do some work in a very specific raid node that you'd want him in. So, there's times for both, I would say. But for the most part, they have their positions, and I really like both of their kits now.
Yeah, I have to agree. I really think that the Groot rework kind of it. So I have a node that I play a lot in Ultima 6 that has a Groot and a rocket in it. And the first time I played it, I forgot about him giving slow when he's hit. And it because my defenders get counter up, they were like countering him, and it was just like, wait, what's going on here? I like lost two people on this node that I typically one shot. So it definitely changed up the flow of everything. So it was definitely different. It was definitely different. So, but I like it, and Groot's back on my daily farm list. So,
yeah.
Let's see. Gamora and Drax. Oh, I'm sorry. Was there more you wanted to say about Groot?
Oh, no, I was just going to say he definitely isn't for me, unfortunately. I was farming the Guardians for a little bit whenever Mantis was coming out, but I was like, you know what? I really should just focus on the Kree because I know the Kree rework is coming, and, I need shield as high as possible. Excuse me. So I switched back to Kree, and I feel like I did the right thing now, but I am going to get to Guardians eventually. But you're definitely going to get them up before me. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I'll be happier than you. So, all right. Let's see. Gamora and Drax. Gamora's special ability now has a more reliable chance to chain to additional targets. Drax's ultimate ability also has an improved chain, hitting 3 to 5 targets instead of 1 to 5. Mantis provides additional benefits to Drax, which brings us to our newest Guardian. So, the Drax chain hitting more targets is nice. I really feel, though, that Drax resistance needs to be boosted. That chain doesn't do anything because he's like constantly heal blocked. I just feel like he's constantly heal blocked, and it's like, who cares? Plus, Drax still has that bug where if he kills somebody, he doesn't get the drain. So, and if anybody tells you that's working as intended, they are incorrect. I have confirmed with Foxnex that is listed as a bug, along with like Black Widow not copying buffs if she kills somebody, Ant-Man not copying if he kills somebody. Anything of the on kill copy or on kill get something. If it's not working, it's because it is basically a long-standing bug, which I wish they would just fix already. But who cares about bugs?
Evan on our chat was mentioning that he heard that it might not be a bug. He's heard that Drain on Death was intentional to make Thanos not insane. Apparently,
yeah. All I can tell you
he's
is
not
that
100% sure though.
Right. All I can tell you is that I talked to Fox Next about this specifically today and was told that it is marked as a long-standing bug. So whether or not they just changed the text or they actually changed things,
yeah, that could have just that was intended at the beginning and then they changed it or decided that they were going to change it. You never know with them.
Yes. Yeah. So now we get into Mantis. So Mantis is a controller and will be the Guardian's primary healer from here on out. Mantis's kit is an arsenal of healing abilities. Mantis's basic ability, Sleep, targets a single target and stuns that target if she is currently charged. Additionally, this ability provides deflex to Drax if he is on the field. Her special, Empathy, is a multi-tiered heal. The closer an ally is to Mantis, the more they heal. Mantis' ultimate, Soothe, redistributes health between herself and the most injured ally. In raids, Soothe also transfers negative effects from both herself and that ally to her primary target, while also clearing positive effects from her primary target. Her passive, Will to Power, grants 4 max health for every Guardian ally and heals her at the start of each turn. This ability provides a chance to start each battle with a single charge, topping out 100% chance by level 5, in which case her basic ability provides a reliable first turn stun. We were happy with how the Guardians were performing in Arena and Blitz, but felt they could use improvements in other modes. While Groot has the ability to heal, his kit is much more than restoring health and is one that really shines in shorter fights by keeping allies alive with defense up and death proof. When planning for Mantis, we felt there was an opening for her to cover the flip side, providing a playstyle of healing and protection that works best over an extended set of fights. So Hebrew, have you had a chance to have you had a chance to play with Mantis at all? Did you unlock her or anything?
No, I haven't. I don't spend on the game anymore, so unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to do that. But I am excited to have a go with her eventually because Gosh, she just looks like such a good character with the Guardians. I'm really excited to make them raid viable.
Yeah, I mean, looking over her kit, she definitely is going to add a lot of heal. And the nice thing is that it's more than just Guardians, because she doesn't target heals to Guardians specifically, but she targets to allies. So you know, the only real Guardian synergy she has is, and we are going to cover her in this week's spotlight, is the fact that the Drax on basic, giving him deflect, which is really nice for him. And then she gets bonus health for Guardian allies. So that is really nice, especially when you consider some of the campaign modes, or even like the beta raid before they retune it, because it'll be a quote unquote new raid where you need cosmic. The cosmic lane, that will definitely be nice there, because you don't have to run her with just Guardians if you don't want to. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I may be breaking down and buying that pack this week.
Not a bad idea, honestly. If you're spending on the game, then yeah, I mean, she would be a pretty good place to put your money. Better than a lot of other places in the game, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's zero chance I buy a War Initiative orb. Zero chance. That orb is junk.
Have you unlocked him yet? Just out of curiosity.
Oh yeah, I've got him unlocked.
Okay, good.
I mean, he's only 2-star, but I've got him unlocked. Here's the thing: I keep forgetting to log in time to get the bonus energy, so I get like 450 shards like a day or whatever. Honestly, that orb is such crap. I just don't care, because I have a very strong feeling that War Machine is going to be in a store very soon. So
I mean, if you want to buy it. Wait, you're saying in the store? Like,
I think War Machine will be in a store at some point in the game very soon, probably within the next few days.
I think he might be. Yeah, if they put a like a specific store in for Alliance Wars or something, I don't know if they're going to do that. But if
considering he's Alliance War specific, I would like to see him in that store. Yes,
exactly. Yeah, that would make sense that he would kind of go in there. But if they want to keep him really exclusive, then I could see them. I could see it going either way. But you're right. That might be a good option for them to put him there. So yeah.
So, and we'll go into Mantis a little bit more when we go over her, because she is our character spotlight tonight, and we're going to go into her kit a little bit more in depth with some numbers and talk about some possible strategies with her. So next up in the dev blog is our good buddy, the one everybody's been waiting for, Carnage. Strike welcomes another alien symbiote in the Spider-Verse, Carnage. Carnage is the 5th member of the Spider-Verse team and their 3rd brawler. Make no mistake, this bloodthirsty villain is not a brawler like Spider-Man. Carnage deals heavy damage by feeding off an enemy's negative effects and low health. Paired with Venom, the two share a powerful symbiotic relationship. Venom tees up foes by stacking heavy bleed, and Carnage knocks them down by dealing damage that scales with the bleed applied by Venom. Together they form a vicious duo that completes this iteration of the Spider-Verse squad. The Spider-Verse squad is a fun and unique team. While the current setup does not have a protector, they make up for that with their high burst damage, control, and area of effect attacks. These area of effect attacks, combined with their heavy bleed stacking and spread, give the team the ability to put constant pressure on multiple enemies at once. What do you think of Carnage? From what we've seen so far in game and everything else.
I think he's going to be a really good character. I can't wait to get him and play him. I should say, I can't wait till I am at a position where I can level up my Spider-Verse team and put him on that team, especially. Luckily with Spider-Verse, there's you can piece them out pretty easily into a lot of other teams. So that'll be, I'll still be able to use him in some ways, but I really can't wait to see how he interacts with the team, with the Spider-Verse team. I'm really excited to do that. But yeah, it's just, right now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make him like viable for play anytime soon. But just because all resources are allocated in other places. But yeah, he looks like an absolute monster. I cannot wait to play him.
Yeah, he's gonna be a lot of fun. Are you saving up the premium orbs for him?
Like I said, I have no illusions that I'm going to pull him, but I have 5 premium orbs saved.
5.
5, yeah. So, but I am, like I said, like I wouldn't even have a problem if I pulled them today, and because I know I'm not going to get him. There's just no way. If I'm still waiting for 1,000,000 gold to drop, there's just no way this is going to happen.
And that's what kills
and
me.
even then, like I'd rather have that. I would, if my luck had a drop on one of those two things, I would still rather a drop on gold, because I need gold more desperately than I need Carnage right now. So I'd rather not tempt fate with screwing me one way.
Yeah, that gold thing still kills me, because you should only have to pull 100 gold orbs to get a 1,000,000 pull. I mean,
exactly.
the odds,
like, and over the course of this game, I have pulled far more than that.
There's no sympathy addition to the pulls in this game, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, I would love it if they did something like that, but yeah, it's unfortunate that they do not.
Yeah, they actually do that in another game I started playing called Dragalia Lost.
I heard you finally joined in on that.
I did finally join in. I dropped Langrisser. The fan service was just too much for me there. I mean, there's a little bit in Dragalia Lost, but it's not as bad. Well, and then Langrisser does this whole thing called Bonds, which really goes into this whole waifu husbando weirdness. And I was just like, I'm out. I'm just when I'm sitting on the couch and I'm trying to play a game, and my wife's on one side of me, and my daughter's on the other, and I'm like, I don't want them looking at the screen. That's about time to stop playing a game.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from. I don't personally consider it a problem, but I do understand from your position it being a potential issue. So
yeah. So
I was going to say real quick before we move on from them, though, they said the only person that was missing from that team comp was some kind of tank, but I also think like they don't have that much sustain either. They're really the only sustain that's coming in is from Venom and Carnage with their passives, I believe. Other than that, I think they're pretty lost. So they're not going to be really raid viable or anything.
No, this is not a raid team. It's a blitz team.
Yeah.
Maybe if they're high enough, you could build a fast arena team out of them. But honestly, I don't think anybody's going to be as fast right now as that War Machine Brotherhood combo that we talked about last week. That thing is crazy. That thing's a crazy one-turn kill. So, and again, top marks to Tony Bing for suggesting that team comp when we were talking about the War Machine math. So,
yeah, and I just feel like raid viability is probably the most important thing in this game, personally. So whenever a character isn't raid viable, it already moves them down on my priority list a lot. So, because whenever you have teams like Shield out there or Defenders who do well in both, it just makes if I have a team that only does good in one specifically, it drops them down a little bit, and especially if it's just PvP versus something like raid, then they drop down even more. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but just for the characters in there and their kits, like I will eventually get to them quicker than I probably would have otherwise. Hopefully they'll release someone else that's in the Spider-Verse that can pair with them, kind of like what they just did with Defenders. I'm sorry, not Defenders, Guardians, and they'll have a bit of a healer too. But it sounds like they're doing a tank before that. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you 100% on it. I mean, I get you that the raids are some of the best. The best way to gear up and ability level your team. Yeah. But I mean, arena is still the only way to reliably get power cores, which that can fund a lot of shopping. So I in these types of games I always try to put arena first before raids. But I see your point with the amount of ability mats that you get from the raids. So
my challenge to that would also be, if you look at the spectrum of rankings in, like, if you look at something like Arena, even the top people in Arena, they're going to have ridiculous amounts of red stars that you're not going to be able to match regardless of your team comp, or they're rocking people like Shield or Defenders, both with probably red stars to some degree as well. And both of those outweigh everyone else on raids and arena. So it's hard for me to dedicate resources just to an arena-based team, whenever chances are I can get that with even someone just like the defenders. Like probably get as high as I would have without them, or even higher potentially. So it's hard for me to allocate resources just for an arena team right now in this current climate, at least. But that, once again, that's me, and I can see that as subjective, as just when it comes to priorities. But I think to be competitive, or like to remain competitive, you do kind of have to gear yourself a little bit more for that, and you'll still kind of fall wherever you probably would have otherwise in arena if you have those big raid teams, especially.
Yeah, like I said, I see the validity in your point. I think what you're saying has merit as well. So like I said, it's kind of a hard call for me, because I think arena is just as important as raids.
Yeah, I think ideally I would rather it be more of the situation that you're talking about, where you do kind of have to pick or choose. I don't really like that a team that does well in both dominates both. You know what I mean? I would rather have it where you have to pick if you want to be a raid master or you want to be a PvP master. And then people that do good in both should be, the jack of all trades, but the masters of none of both as well.
But, Fury
is what it is. Yeah, Fury and defenders too. They're always up there as well.
You're not gonna find defenders really that high up in mature shards, I don't think. As much as you will Fury
disagree.
and Brotherhood.
At least in mine it is. Like they're definitely all up in there. Brotherhood I see as well, but Fury, defenders, and Brotherhood are like the three teams that I see at the very top in my shard, at least.
I don't have time to go through, but
tech teams as well, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, mine is there's actually Guardians with Mantis. That's special. Yeah, there's actually a Defenders team, which isn't much more powerful than mine. I don't know how the heck they're holding, but
mine holds up like champions up there for the most part.
Really? Man,
yeah.
If I'm not careful, I get buried almost 500. I'm running a 204 Defender team, so it's not far behind. Yeah. And my 204, 205k power Defender teams gets crushed on defense.
Yeah, I think you're in the beta shard though, so I think that might be a little bit of a difference. But yeah, I mean, my guys up there are top. I think I'm at 215 or so with my defenders, something like that.
Well, I'm at like 170 now.
Yeah. Okay, so that's not so bad. But I know what you mean. Like you can't leave it for like a day or two because you'll drop.
No, I can't leave it at all. In fact, I may drop overnight. But I've also changed up defense. I am running a tech team with Drax. So I'm running Drax, Crossbones, Vision, Rocket, and Star-Lord on defense. So that's kind of giving some people pause, because every single one of those is four or more red stars.
Yeah, I understand why you put the Drax in. I'm curious to see how it holds up, though. But apparently, from what you say, it holds up decently.
Yeah. I mean, I stopped dropping as far, and I take that back. Star-Lord is only 2 red stars, and Vision. Man, where's Vision? Vision's only 2 as well. So, but Vision's only there to give everybody defense up, so that Rocket can just explode all over people, and of course,
of course,
because both those guys are 4 red stars, so their damage output's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So, like I said, Vision's only there for the defense up, so they'll survive. So.
Yeah, Drax is there to pull them off. Yeah.
And Drax is there. Yep, Drax is there to pull them off. So, Rocket just says, "Shabgi's gonna shoot you in the face." So let's continue and get to the part that you're most excited about: the Kree balance update. So the long-awaited update to the Kree is almost here, and we're happy to announce that Ronin, Royal Guard, Cyborg, Reaper, Oracle, and Noble will all enjoy a rebalance. Quick side note, before tonight's show, while getting ready, I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy to prep for today. This team now has a more consistent control and the ability to generate a lot of energy. Keep the yellow energy orbs flying and watch the competition whittle away. Here's an overview of the Kree characters receiving a balance pass. Ronin's day has come at last. Along with stat boosts to his speed, health, and armor, Ronan is also getting the ability to summon 2 Kree minions, Reaper and Noble. While he is losing the healing ability from his special Judgment, he's more than capable of healing Kree allies through his new passive, Accuser, which grants speed bar and healing to a Kree ally when they receive energy. The ability block on his ultimate universal weapon is also getting more reliable. Now it applies for 2 turns to the primary target instead of being entirely random. Finally, Ronan's basic Hammer Smash is getting an update. It's now a 2-phased attack, where it first removes positive effects and then inflicts damage. These changes will make Ronan the centerpiece of the Kree team. What do you think about the Ronan update? You think that...
I could say this team's going to be a monster because of that. That speed bar increase and heal whenever they receive energy, considering their kit, because everyone's all about getting energy. Oh my god. They look so ridiculous. I cannot wait, because the reason why I cannot wait for it is because I believe either Shield is going to be dethroned, or it will certainly be a challenge, but B, I just am glad that I'll be on the good side of this, where I'll actually have them unlocked the first time that they come around, unlike Shield, where I just had to deal with not having them and be forced to fight against them all the time. But man, I am very excited for Ronan. I think that this kit that he has is crazy, and whenever we get to the other characters, people who haven't read this will quickly see why. What about you?
I think on paper it sounds okay. It sounds nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to see the numbers, right? Because Ronan right now, I mean, they could be like, yeah, we're gonna give everybody 100 ticks on their speed bar, right? Well, that would be almost nothing. It depends on what his speed increase is. I mean, there are things. Yeah,
percentages matter. You're right.
Percentages matter. I think that it looks okay. I don't know. I want to be excited, but I'm just kind of like, meh, because before we go through the rest of the Kree kit, here's a problem, right?
Yeah.
These guys are going to be nearly impossible to beat in raids now. They're going to
be terrible to go through. You're right.
Right. Can you imagine now Ultima 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough.
You think they're going to retune for that? Shit.
Absolutely not. No.
Oh, come on, man.
Well, they did retune a bit for Loki, but it's going to be harder to retune this specifically, which I feel like they might just be like, too much work, whatever.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're just going to say, nah, whatever, deal with it.
Get red stars good. And beat it.
Yeah, get good, noob. Get red stars.
Yeah.
Go buy your red stars.
That is a problem that I'm not looking forward to.
And so that's one of my big things. The other thing is I don't see numbers here. So they're talking about this stuff, but if it's not anything decent, then I'm just kind of like, okay. Because here's what they're doing, right? And this is all marketing speech right now. That's what this is 100%. Like, get excited because we're doing this, but we're not going to tell you what we're doing. So go farm, go buy, get the Kree now. Right? I mean, as if getting Fury to 7 stars wasn't enough, but now they want people to spend gold to star up Ronan. Because I mean, how many people aren't going to be able to 7-star Ronan?
Yeah, we'll see packs. I mean, if we see packs before we see numbers, I think that approach might be a valid reason. But as of right now, I'm not too worried about that. But if I see packs before they give us numbers, then yeah, I'll be a little more wary.
Yeah. I think I may be 100 shards shy of a 7-star Ronan. I'm at 591 of 130. So if I do that, that'll put me at 460. So I'll be 40 shards shy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm at 6 stars, I believe. But I also have 4 red stars on him. I have like 4 red stars on a couple of the Kree, I believe. So that finally paid off.
Nice.
Well, will finally pay off, I should say. Hopefully.
All my Kree, I mean, look, I've got enough here, like Oracle, I'm going to be able to get to 7 red stars. I'm sorry, to 7 stars. No 7 red stars.
Yeah.
Right. I'll be able to get Royal Guard to 6 stars. So I mean, it's not that my Kree are bad. You know, I'll have 3 at 6 and 7 stars, and Korath is really close, even though he's not part of this rework, which is fine.
Right.
I just, I don't know. I don't know. It just, it is going to make getting Fury easier, I guess.
Yeah, I will say that I will also say that it'll make leveling up for Shield, especially people that are newer and have to go through the process, it will make it far less of a daunting process because you're going to be leveling up at least a good team from the looks of it, if not a great team, just to get Shield. So that'll really be a lot more useful for newcomers. But I would like to say 2 things that what you said reminded me of. Yes, we do need to wait for numbers, but I do feel like given the frequency of when that passive will proc, even small numbers, because I think it's going to be smaller than what a lot of people are expecting. But with how often this is going to be happening from what you'll see in the other kits, even a small bonus will end up being quite a bit. But yeah, the other thing was with what's the other guy's name? I can't believe I'm blanking on his name.
Korath?
Yes, Korath. Yeah, I don't like that there isn't some built-in synergy here with Korath. I wish that there was a way to put him in there that would be optimal in some way, right? Over some of the other ones. Now, we don't know that 100%. There might be some pretty obvious characters to take out,
right?
Once we see numbers.
Yeah.
But as of right now, from the kit perspective itself, I don't see anyone. I'm having trouble just figuring out who I want to remove for Ronin.
Yeah, normally it would have been Noble. I'd have taken Noble out in a heartbeat. But I
would have taken out Oracle before.
I'm sorry, I was thinking Oracle.
Yeah.
Taking out Oracle in a heartbeat. But I don't know if I would do that after this.
I think that he's going to be absolutely necessary for raids. You are probably, I feel like, going to end up replacing him with someone whenever we get to, some kind of PvP mode, arena or blitz. But yeah, you definitely want him in there for raids because he is a heal machine.
He is a healing machine as long as that energy's flying as much as it looks like it will. But again, it's all going to depend on some numbers.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's all going to depend on Ronin's speed.
It's touching. Yeah, it's just touching 3 huge things. It's touching speed bar management, right? For yourself, not the enemy, unlike Shield, right? But speed bar management, energy, and health. Those are like the 3 things that you need. Not to mention it buffs as well. Like we're going to be getting AOE defense up buffs. That's somewhere in someone's kit, from what I remember. But yeah, like he gets literally everything from the sound of it. So in some sense, I am a little worried that it sounds too good to be true. But in another sense, Shield came out and they somehow did change that. So, I have Brotherhood, which makes me think there's a reality. And then I have Shield, which makes me think that they don't care. So it'll be interesting to see which one they pick this time.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Kree Cyborg. While the changes to Kree Cyborg aren't as dramatic as Ronin's, they make for some compelling additions to the Cyborg's kit. We were happy with how he was performing, but wanted to make him a bit more consistent and provide the potential for a chain, something the Kree team was lacking. His basic energy blaster has been changed to generate energy and chained to additional targets on kill. His passive integrated systems now grants offense up to both himself and a Kree ally when an enemy taunts. And we also gave him some extra speed per Kree ally. So they did a couple of things here which the Cyborg needed, which was more speed. So we'll see what he gets. Hopefully he gets maybe each Kree adds like 5 total speed to him. I'd hate to see it be a percentage. Yeah. And I'd be curious to see what happens with Ronin now dropping in minions, if that gives Cyborg more speed as well.
Yeah.
So that'll definitely be interesting because Ronin is going to call in cyborgs, right? No, Reaper and Noble. I'm sorry. If he had called in cyborgs, that would have been crazy. It's like just like a self-perpetuating machine there.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I mean, the offense up to himself and a Kree ally when the enemy taunts, that's gonna be kind of nice.
Yeah.
So again, we'll have to see what some numbers do. But what do you think of the Cyborg update?
I like it. I think he's actually going to be a bit of a dark horse here. I think that they're going to basically give him execute chains, which will be pretty interesting. That's a kind of a shot, an educated guess. I shouldn't say shot in the dark, but based on what they said, I kind of see an execute situation going on with him. So I think that they might do something like percentage health missing or something like that, and allow him to chain off a kill. That would be pretty cool, at least if they did it. But yeah, I think he's going to be doing a lot of damage, and so I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, you're right with the another reason why this entire team will be so ridiculous is because there's so much synergy between them. And similarly to Shield, he will call in minions, and they'll probably end up working with some of that synergy. So there's just going to be so much energy flying around. Jesus. That's all I can think about is how many energy balls I'm going to be seeing per turn fly up on the screen. Yep. But yeah, I really like where they placed him for the rework as far as damage is concerned. So yeah,
we'll have to see. So the Kree Royal Guard. The update to the Royal Guard comes in 3 areas: a boost to his attributes for health, an addition to his passive, and an update to his special ability. His special ability, Call to Glory, remains a taunt and a self-heal, but it now has the added benefit of healing for more if Ronan is on his team. Call to Glory also grants defense up to himself and Kree allies. The Royal Guard's passive, Royal Guard Armor, now has a chance to grant energy to Kree allies if he's taunting, allowing greater synergy with Ronan's new passive. So, not a whole lot here. He gets a health boost and an addition to his passive with the update to the special ability. The KRG was already a pretty decent tank as it was.
Yeah, but the defense up to himself and Kree allies, that's going to be so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, he's going to fill that spot of the tank, and he's going to be a really good one because with the healing that he'll be doing, I think once again it depends on numbers that we see, but I think that he's going to be able to sustain very well with all the other healing going on and his own, and then applying that defense up, especially being able to probably spam it pretty easily considering all the energy that's going to be flying around. Once again, he sounds like he's going to be a monster of a tank, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, moving on to the Kree Reaper. Sharpen those blades, Reaper fans, because she's getting updated as well. The Kree Reaper update provides additional bonuses to her crit chance. Her special ability, Ferocious Pursuit, can now grant a 100% chance to heal block at the highest level, and will also increase the single target damage on this attack. Her passive, Hunter Killer, saw the most significant change. While it's still focused on crit chance, she now gains bonus crit chance per Kree minion ally. Reaper still keeps the ability to heal self on crit, but now also generates ability energy to Kree allies on critical strike. We also gave her a chance to bleed on her basic because, well, look at those blades. And there weren't enough debuffs running around. What do you think of the Reaper update?
The Reaper update? Yeah, so once again, I think this is going to be pretty good. I think that she might be an option to remove, though. And it's tough because all of these characters are so good that I don't really want to remove any of them. But depending on the situation, it kind of depends on how much damage, Cyborg will do. But Kree Reaper, her kit is pretty good. Get that heal for the crit and everything, and then you have someone who's going to be doing the heal block because heal block is becoming more and more important. So yeah, there's definitely a place for her. It's just really tough to decide who I want to remove, and I feel like I'm going to end up leveling up everyone and just have to take out specific people for specific nodes. But yeah, she definitely has a good place, and I'm excited to see what her numbers are going to be. But yeah, she does look like she's going to be doing quite a bit of damage. So
yeah, I think she got one of the better upgrades there because she is definitely going to be doing a lot of damage with those crits coming out. And again, with those, whatchamacallit? With the crit strike giving energy out, and the stuff, she's just, it's gonna be kind of crazy. And with Ronan, that's where I was going. With Ronan dropping more minions, that's gonna increase her crit chance as well.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
She's gonna be good.
Yep. Kree Noble. The big change to the Noble's kit is that her heal was removed from her passive and replaced with the ability to remove negative status effects from her allies. The healing for the Kree team will now be split between Ronan, Oracle, and a soon to be released hero. Her special, Imperial Decree, became more reliable as well. Now, instead of calling a random ally, it will always call someone adjacent to her. Kree Sidearm, Noble's basic, clears a positive effect and grants ability energy if the target had a positive effect. Combined with Ronan's basic Hammer Smash, the Kree team now has many chances to clear positive effects. This gives them a tactical advantage when facing teams that rely heavily on the taunt effect. It also gives them a very strong chance against teams like S.H.I.E.L.D. I see the Kree as another anti-S.H.I.E.L.D.-ish team with their anti-buff. So I think they're more than just a raid viable team.
Yeah, I think that they are definitely going to be good in both. I think that you might have to, that you might want to tweak who you put in with the team a little bit as far as like which minion, but that's about it. Like similarly to what you do with Shield with Trooper. So yeah, I think that you might have to do that. But Noble sounds really good. She's going to be your dispeller, so that'll be good. And then the soon to be, you can't gloss over that. Soon to be released hero part because that's obviously going to be Miss Marvel, I assume.
I don't think so. I don't think so because Miss Marvel wasn't a healer. I mean, she's a blaster. I mean, she's a damage dealing blaster. I don't know why they would put healing on her.
I wouldn't have guessed healing either, but I'm just basing it off of timing really and her affiliation.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another character from the Kree movie, from the Miss Marvel movie.
Who do you think I think it's one of the other characters in the movie. I didn't even think about that, but there are some other big names, right, in the Marvel universe that are in there.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the Kree. I mean, there's Captain Marvel,
That's true.
I think is who Jude Law is playing. But he's also kind of a blasterish character. I've heard the name Minerva.
Right.
But I don't know much about her.
Minerva. Yeah, I haven't heard of her before at all either. You mentioning that is the first time I've even heard of it.
Let's see. Dr. Minerva is a fictional character appearing in American comic books. She's a Kree geneticist. She was an enemy of the rogue Kree agent Captain Marvel and later became the partner of Captain Atlas. And she will be in the Captain Marvel. She's being played by Gemma Chan.
Interesting. Okay, so yeah, maybe it won't be Captain Marvel. I was thinking it might be interesting if they have basically you have to pick or choose Reaper or Marvel to be your leader, but chances are the benefits will be too powerful that you would never even want to split them up anyways. Like if that was the situation, like you'd probably just want to keep both of them and then just knock out another minion. But yeah, so maybe you're right. Maybe it is one of those. They're going to release another person from the movie along with her. But yeah, either way, it'll be interesting to see, and I'm even more curious and excited now because I kind of wrote it off as Captain Marvel. But as far as the rest of her kit and everything, I like that she's going to be clearing positive effects. It's going to be, we're going to have to see how efficiently, she is going to be having the energy going all the time. So she will be using her basic a decent bit to clear those positives. But it sounds like it's only going to be clearing one because they said a positive effect.
Right. But it grants energy if that target had a positive effect.
Right. And so that's why I said she's going to be going a lot because we have speed bar increase and energy. But it's just with how buff-centric we see a lot of teams are now, chipping away at one at a time is only so useful. You know what I mean? Whenever you have a team where every single character has 4 buffs on them, it's a luck on what you're going to knock off, and chances are it won't be the right one, and it still has to go through resistance. So, you know,
That's
one per shot is somewhat reliable, but it is on her basic, so that is useful. But yeah, so we'll see how she goes. But I think that her being the only one that dispels, from what I remember at least so far, yeah, I think that she will be somewhat important. He can block.
Ronan's
that's
basic.
right.
Ronan's basic. Yes.
His basic dispels too. That's correct.
His basic does dispel. And I'll tell you right now, you'll want to run Kree Noble with Korath.
Kree Noble with Korath.
Yes, because Korath applies taunt, which means that you can have Kree Noble target that one character to get rid of a taunt to generate ability energy so that Korath can put taunt on another character.
Yeah, his taunt is like kind of meh though, because it only lasts one turn as of right now. Yeah, there's some use to it, but you know, I've used him a decent bit. He's actually up fairly high for me, just through like osmosis of doing stuff in the game. But yeah, it's kind of meh, underwhelming. I don't know if I would make him take the place of some of these other characters that do a lot of synergy for the team. But it could be a viable option. If they made that a 2-turn taunt with him, then we'd be talking. But yeah, as a 1-turn, it's a little lackluster. I don't know if I'd want to take out anyone here from what I see, especially with a potential new coming person to fill in. I'm already like trying to figure out, like I said earlier, who to remove, and it's tough.
Yeah, I think depending on what you're trying to do, it all depends. But before we get there, let's talk about the last person on our list, the Kree Oracle. So rounding out the Kree updates is the Kree Oracle. One of the biggest hurdles the Oracle had when facing tougher teams was staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. So we've increased his max health and the number of regenerations the Oracle can apply when working with a Kree team. In addition, the new Oracle passive will heal any ally. The new Oracle passive will heal any ally that receives energy. Sorry, I was thinking about other team comps there. When paired with the rest of the updated Kree, Oracle's passive is incredibly strong. This heal will also increase in strength if the ally healed is Kree. So, yeah, Kree Oracle's definitely the healer of the team. And I think is the one you leave out of Arena. But not, or even Blitz, but not the one you would leave out of Raids. Unless you need to do something very specific in the raid nodes. I did like the fact that the Oracle passive will heal any ally that receives energy, because, call me crazy, that would be pretty awesome in a defender team, because there's a lot of energy that flies around in defender teams.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sorry.
Man, get a drink of water.
Believe it or not, I've been drinking. This is just the sickness. But yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty underwhelming heal without it being Kree from the sound of it. But you know, numbers will tell us that, and there's going to be, you know, some place in some potential comps if it's actually a viable heal. So yeah, we'll have to see about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, I totally agree with everything that you said. Yeah, it is definitely going to be the raid healer and the person that you take out whenever you switch over to Arena, for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking for raids, may take out the Cyborg.
I think he's just going to give us too much damage, and with chaining off kills, I think that's really going to be raid viable more than anything else.
Yeah, but I think Reaper will do the same thing, and I don't think that with Reaper, Cyborg, and Ronin, you're going to need 3 damage dealers. I think you can get by with 2, and I think Reaper may provide a bit more fluidity on her kit, because she'll heal herself. She grants ability energy on crit strikes. The Cyborg doesn't grant. His basic does grant energy. It says generate energy, so we'll have to see if it only self generates energy. And does that chain? I don't know. You're definitely going to keep guard.
Yeah, I just feel like with Kree, you know, she's going to be. I feel like she's going to end up being. I'm sorry, I said Kree. I should say Kree Reaper. I feel like, you know, she definitely is going to have a place, more specifically for her heal block than anything else. But other than that, and she does have a heal as well. But I think we're going to be having enough heals from everyone else that can be kind of disregarded. but the heal block is probably the most or the biggest thing that's highlighted there in my mind with her. But I just think with Kree Cyborg, especially in raids, and once again, it comes down to numbers. So, this is all speculative. But with Kree Cyborg chaining kills, I feel like that's going to be big. I don't think that Ronan is going to be doing a bunch of damage.
Yeah, you know what the chances are of chaining a kill, though? I mean, you just...
In raids, fairly good.
Man, you're going to have to work people down and get, you're going to have to work around taunts. You're going to have to work around, targets of opportunity to get multiple people in a line into the red to even get off a chain kill. I just think there's too much randomness to that Kree Cyborg, if it is even chain kills, even if I think he's the guy you drop out personally. I think Cyborg's the guy you drop out.
That might be the case. I do think that. So yeah, I originally, as I mentioned earlier, kind of think that Kree Reaper would be the one that I would drop out because I think Cyborg would do more damage overall. But yeah, it sounds like from what we're talking about, it's Kree Cyborg or Kree Reaper, would end up being the one that you would take out. But we'll have to see. We're talking about to fill out with Ronan, obviously. Kree Noble we know is going to be bumped out for Arena, but he's definitely going to be in there for raids.
You mean Oracle?
So either way, I'm sorry. Oh yeah,
Oracle.
What did I say? Reaper?
You said Noble.
Noble? I'm sorry. Yes, Oracle, the healer.
Yeah.
But yeah. And yeah, it also, just as creative name mentioned, he said his Cyborg is 4 red stars. It's also going to depend on your red stars, the situation of your red stars. That is something always that you got to remember. Shook up the game in that form now. So red stars on a damage dealer does matter. That would make the difference for me, most likely, between these two characters on who I'd keep in if I have one with a good bit of red stars and the other one without.
Yeah, every time I hear depending on your red stars, stars.
It's such a shame that you have to depend things on that.
That's that's what happens now, man. I just get triggered. I get triggered off of that nonsense. So
it's you're right, and it's a shame because it's like, you look at all of this hard work with trying to analyze synergies and what works best with each other, and then it can all immediately be overridden with just luck. Yep. So I mean, that's a fair thing to be upset about. I totally get it, but unfortunately, it is our reality that we have to live in.
I know. So, what happened there? Turn that off. Let's see. So, and then finally, while the battle against Ultimus intensifies, war is on the horizon. Play testing is underway for the upcoming Alliance War game mode that pits Alliance against Alliance. We've had great feedback from our early play testers, and we plan on using this feedback to improve the mode and address concerns. We're excited to bring Alliance War to the community, and we'll release more information as soon as possible. You're now up to date on the current and upcoming strike plans. Keep an eye out for the final character balance update for the Kree and future Alliance War updates as we approach both of their releases. And as always, good luck, Commander. Jason Bender, Creative Director, Marvel Strike Force. It was funny. I told you guys that I actually heard from him this week, saying that the test server plans are still in play. Yeah, just say Alliance War is taking up so much time. So yeah, which makes sense. I want that mode to be as good as possible, because if it's not, oof.
Yeah, I'm sure like the way that it's being tested, I'm sure it's not great and it needs a lot of refinement. So I'm curious to see how they do and what state it's in currently and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we'll find out soon a little bit more about the specifics.
Yeah. So, with that, we have covered the dev blog. And as we said earlier, I don't think there's any news, any noteworthy news that I can think of, to cover. So we are going to take this opportunity because we have a lot of listener questions for the week. So I'm going to go directly into the character spotlight. And this week we are talking about the one and only Mantis. So I pull all lore and origin from Earth 616. This is not the MCU version. Even though the MCU version does seem to be what they've based the character on. But there are some in the from the 616 lore as well. So, Mantis is the daughter of Gustav Brandt and Lao Nyung. While a child, she was trained by the alien priests of Pama, a sect of Kree, who believed she was destined to become the Celestial Madonna. She excelled in her martial arts study, which landed her the name Mantis. Being protectors of the Kotati, the priests of Pama enhanced her mind, giving her telepathic abilities. On her 18th birthday, she was mind-wiped and given false memories of a childhood as an orphan in Vietnam, in order for her to experience a regular human life, which would aid her in becoming the Celestial Madonna. So her first appearance was in Avengers 112, June 1973. Her kit. So, as we said during the dev blog, her basic is sleep. She attacks the primary target for 240%, and then if she's charged, she stuns the opponent and loses charged. And if Drax is an ally, apply deflect to Drax. Empathy will heal self and adjacent allies for 3,000 plus 15% of her health. And then heal all additional allies for 1,750 plus 10% of her health. Apply regen to self and adjacent allies. And if she's in a raid, apply regen to all allies. Her ultimate is called Soothe, and it will redistribute health between self and lowest health ally evenly, plus heal self and ally for 2,000. In raids, it will transfer 2 negative effects from self and that ally to the primary target. It will clear 2 positive effects from the primary target, and it cannot target summoned allies. And finally, her passive Will to Power. So on spawn, she will gain charged. On turn, she will heal for 15% of her health. And then she will gain 5% max health per Guardian ally. So, strategies, really, she's a raid character. I mean, I don't see you really using her outside of raid very much.
She wouldn't be optimal outside of it, yeah.
No. I mean, she's obviously going to work best in a Guardians team, but all her abilities, except for, like I said, the basic and the passive, don't care about her, who she's with. So you can even run her with just Drax as part of another team to beef him up a bit. So I think she's got an interesting kit. She will work in multiple. I mean, she's really kind of that cosmic healer people have been wanting, rather than just like a cosmic redistributor. And she's going to be better at it than it looks like maybe Strange. Will she be better than Strange at this?
Then Strange is garbage right now in the state he is in my opinion, because he dies in 2 seconds every time I put him on my team. So the only way he'll survive a little bit is with a Drax. So just because they immediately target him every single time, it seems like, in any mode.
Well, yeah, they're going to do that. We're going to do that. They are going to do that with her as well, because she's going to have that support.
But you know what's better, though? The gain plus 5% max health per Guardian ally. It'll at least make her tanky enough to try to do something. Plus, you already have Drax on your team, so you don't have to worry about them doing it right off the back. But my God, Strange just dies in 2 seconds now. He has no survivability. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, he heals for more. I mean, he does 8,000 plus 10% of his max health,
but not consistently. It's a terribly long cooldown.
It is 7 to cast that. So
yeah,
that is horribly long.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to compare her numbers with his real quick. Sorry.
No, you're fine. But yeah, in my opinion, she is certainly by far and away a ridiculously better healer than he is, just because she's healing all the time.
Yeah,
doing some kind of health related thing all the time, and it's just she doesn't have a revive, but she won't really need one with her setup from the way it looks.
Yeah, I really think
she's going to be really good at keeping everyone alive.
Yeah, I do think Strange needs to have that brought down a couple of energy, to be honest, but because it's a revive, I doubt they ever will.
Exactly.
But her empathy is a 4 energy. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, but it starts with 2 energy. And then Sue's on a 3-turn cooldown, and you can use that immediately. So, but you're probably not gonna use that unless I don't know how fast she is. How fast is she?
Excuse me.
She is. Oh, she's got a flat speed of 100. She's not that fast.
No, she's not crazy fast. She's not super
She's not
slow,
fast.
but she's not crazy fast.
Right. She's actually right.
But, yeah,
she's actually right there with War Machine.
Yeah, it's just with she has two abilities to that are both lower than the Doctor Strange's, but she basically has two abilities to help out other characters with their health. So
yeah,
that's nuts. And she's constantly healing herself at the same time.
So looking at the Guardians, most likely she would replace Groot in a typical team. However, I think Gamora is a viable candidate for replacement as well.
Yeah, I've heard some people talk about that. For me, I just feel like you're going to end up. I'm so sorry. For me, I feel like you're going to end up being lacking a little too much on damage because you just have, Star-Lord is he's good at nuking with his ultimate, but other than that, he's meh. And Rocket, of course, is great at damage, but doing it alone. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish up.
But I was going to say, but other than him and Star-Lord's, I feel like I just don't have enough compared to the kind of damage that Gamora puts out, and especially with her chaining capabilities. I mean, and that might just be because it's skewed slightly with me because I have her at 4 red stars. But man, she trucks on damage. She does. So
I'm not gonna lie, she does. But I will tell you that in my opinion, Groot hits amazingly hard. So his basic will hit for 340% damage. And his damage at 7 stars, no red stars.
Sorry, who were you talking about again? I'm sorry.
Groot.
Oh, Groot. Okay.
Yeah, he hits for 9,000.
Plus, yeah, but he's incredibly slow.
He is, but he gives the death proof. He does additional healing. He applies immunity, and he gives Rocket. Sometimes, I mean, if he gets called in to assist, he's because he'll do that with Star-Lord and Rocket. He'll do some hurt.
I believe but it's scaled down with assists for damage. It's not going to be what you experience damage-wise with this basic.
You'd be surprised, I think, because I've seen some characters. I've actually gone to Fox Next about this. If you put Miss Marvel with the Defenders, and she gets called to assist, she's hitting for full power.
Is she hitting at full power of her basic or just 100%?
She's hitting it the full power of her basic.
I haven't seen the numbers on that, but usually they hit lower, I believe.
Yes, I know. That's why I was surprised the first time I saw it. And I think I've seen Groot hit for like 18,000 on assist. I'll have to double check that. But I think that doesn't work every time. And honestly, you're going to trust Fox Next.
Yeah, well, these were. I remember the big file that I looked at was a while ago from Casino's data mine, where he did the big file of everyone's passives and assists and what they do.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, so I don't know it. I don't remember it for Groot because he was inconsequential at the time. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be hitting for the same number at all for what you're used to with the basic. But that being said, he's also very slow with pulling out his basic, and the turns that he does have, you have a decent chance of oh my gosh, I cannot talk today, of using a different ability of his. So I just don't know if I would put, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, there's probably some nodes especially where, yeah, that would make a little more sense, but I feel like the normal thing to do for the best situation on average is to have Gamora in there and just replace Groot for Mantis for raids, and then you're gonna want for Arena and Blitz. But yeah, I mean it's a maybe. I want to see Mantis in person and try out that. Whenever I have them at a decent level and everything, I'm gonna experiment with them myself. But
right, and it's what we encourage everybody to do. But you come to us for advice, and I think that while what you say is absolutely valid, I think there are some times that pulling Gamora out would be very viable. So, all right then. Well, was there anything else that you wanted to comment about on Mantis?
No, I think that pretty much does it for me. I'm really excited to play around with her, and I'm really glad that I'm going to be seeing Guardians and Groot again.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be kind of
What did I
exciting.
say?
So
Seeing Guardians and Groot again?
yeah,
I
you
meant
did
seeing
say
Guardians
that,
in the
but
raid again.
yeah.
Gosh.
Well, see, I use my Guardians in raid right now. They're a nuke team I use to prep a node for my I use so I can two-shot Ultimus. I go in first with my Guardians team, and nuke people down, and then I bring in my defenders to mop up.
Yeah, I am totally with you on that. Sometimes I throw him in as throwaway team, but
Yeah.
that's what they are considered
They-
right now for raid for me, a throwaway team.
Yeah, they are that. They're well. I mean, I've got quite a few red stars on that team, so they do quite a bit of work. So,
Yes.
all right. Well, with all of that being said, we are going to move into our grab bag, and we do have quite a few questions tonight. So, we're going to start with Lance is Better Than You, who asks, I pulled a 7 red star aim security. Calm down, Dorian. Just wondering if you guys think it would be a good idea to use resources to level him up. Please keep in mind, I am looking to be competitive. So I'm going to answer this before Hebrew ever gets a chance to and say, good God, no. No, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do what I do. Look, I know I'm doing aim and I'm playing around with them for funsies because I've already got a couple of really competitive teams, so I can afford to divert resources. If you're trying to be competitive, no, I need to do more research on aim security's kit at 7 red stars. So let me look that up real quick before I possibly retract my statement. But what do you think?
No, that's the long and short of it is no, not right now. If you did do that, eventually you would, come up on the right side of the coin. But that's going to be a long time from now, I'd imagine. So if you're trying to be competitive now, do not put resources into that character. The temptation is, I'm sure in your mind, is that you want to throw them on your arena team, but I'm sorry. No, you probably already have better team comps that you can throw in, hopefully with some red stars on them at this point. So yeah, if it ran on another character, if it fell on another character that wasn't in a terrible place and so dependent on a full team, then I would say maybe level them up depending on who it is and build a team comp around them. But no, since people already have a lot of red stars now, how well you do would be kind of diminished. So yeah, I would not do that now if you want to be competitive. By the way, it is great to see you on our Discord. Lance has been kind enough to give us a lot of feedback on our Reddit posts, which we've always taken into account. So I'm glad that he's actually in our Discord now.
Yep, it is a good thing. Now I'm going to counter that and say maybe. Well, okay, so I'm on msf.gg, okay?
Remember, their numbers aren't super accurate.
But they're close, okay?
We don't know that. We don't know how close it is.
I think we've compared previously, and they've been relatively close. So, look, if the health is anywhere near the 173,000 that character gets at 7 red stars, dude, 9,000 armor, 3,000 resistance. I mean, it's a tanky tank.
I will say that and don't get me wrong, I know where you're coming from, but I don't think we can really depend a lot on that number, but it doesn't really matter because anyone at 7 stars is going to have ridiculous stats like that. But whenever you look at the team comms up at the top now, like you're not going to be able to knock them down just with one 7-star, regardless of who it is, unless you have a decent team put on.
No, you're right.
At the beginning, I would have said, yeah, if you pulled that day 1, do it. See what happens, because then you'd have a better chance. But right now, people have enough red stars on enough characters, especially team comps, like with synergistic team comps, that you would be able to be overcome relatively easily. So I would still say no. Do as you wish. But
yeah, absolutely. Do as you wish.
If you want to be competitive, I would say it's still, considering how terrible these resources are for these games, I just think that you're going to be lacking on a lot of other teams that you're going to need. Like, I would be focusing everything on Kree right now, personally. They're going to be a team that looks like they're going to be dominating in both positions. I would put my money on that rather than the same 7-star aim security. But once again, it's up to you.
Yeah, it is up to you.
So much gold.
it is a lot. I'm not going to lie. It is a lot. But if you need a good tank, she's a good tank. I mean, she's not top tier, obviously, but if you've got her 7 red stars, I mean, she's going to gain taunt for 1 turn, and then slow herself for 2 turns. But that recharges really quick, it feels like, and then she's going to heal herself when she taunts. Plus, she gains 10% max health and 15% resistance. And her primary isn't a light hitting thing. So,
one at that level is a light hitting basic.
Well, I mean, it's a 270% damage and applies slow for 1 turn. So,
sorry, say that one more time. You kind of cut out a little bit.
It's because you were coughing.
I think you actually cut out as well. But
she hits for 270% of her basic. Or 240%, 240 or 270. Hold on, 270, and applies slow. So I mean, she's going to hit for around 20,000 and apply slow. Now we're talking max level, gear 12, level 70. Okay,
right. With 7 red stars is the biggest.
But he's got 7 red stars.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, 7 red stars is the biggest thing. That's what I'm saying. Like any character with 7 red stars is going to be a monster. So this doesn't make, like, the who of it doesn't make too much of a difference, except that it's on a very undesirable character as of right now.
It is a pretty undesirable character.
Right. The only thing that's even making her a part of this conversation is the fact that she does have 7 red stars on her. Yeah. So, that's the only thing. I would say that we would be having this conversation with any character. But it really comes down to, I really think that the place that you're probably going to be doing that is Arena. I mean, you could probably try your luck in it with Raid, but you're outnumbered so hard that it might not work as well as you think. But I would imagine competitively, Arena is where you're thinking of using her, and I just think that it's not going to put you in the position that you think it might. If you start her up, I think that there's going to be a lot of people that will counter around it easily.
Yeah, if you've got better tanks, definitely I would not pump the resources into her. If you've got, I mean, I would do Drax over her, obviously, Luke Cage, shield security in a heartbeat, Kree Royal Guard after this update. If you don't have anybody else, though, and you've already had some work put into her, I mean, I would consider her, maybe my third or fourth tank at 7 red stars. For you, for me, I'd still be working on her, but that's me. But that's what I'm doing right now. But don't do what I do. So Razarok asks, what do you value most in an alliance member? Hebrew.
Definitely what I value most is people who show up. And that might seem, I am a little bit lackluster at that whenever it comes to my alliance sometimes. But the one thing I always make sure is that if we are, closing in on 100 or something like that, because now we do 100 on ult all the time. But yeah, for the people that, right whenever we were going on the cusp of getting 100, right, it was still kind of up in the air on if we were going to do it today or not. The people that didn't show up whenever we were at that 99% was very annoying. So people that don't show up to hit those milestones in the reward tiers, that annoys me. So I would say someone who just shows up, I don't really care if you're very talkative in the alliance or not, as long as you just make sure that you show up to hit those big milestones. And that for the most part, you at least do a little something every day in the raid, at least to make sure that we get past whatever milestone we're in. Because I understand, feeling like, oh God, I don't want to, dedicate the next 40 minutes to doing my raids. I get it. And sometimes you just don't have the time. I do it too. But yeah, you got to make sure if you're called upon by your alliance, like, hey, you got to finish this node, you got to show up and do it. Bottom line, if you want to be competitive. If not, go to a different non-competitive alliance.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, show up and do your stuff, man. We are also in a position of being able to hit 100 consistently. So, if you can't show up, or if you can't pay attention, or, be on Discord or whatever, then you definitely need to be in a more casual guild, or alliance, sorry. And then Razrock also asks, which one of you was playing with a metal chain throughout the last podcast? So I will answer this one. It wasn't me, and it wasn't a metal chain. Hebrew did not have his broadcast mic with him, so he was using headphones. What you were hearing was, I believe, the mic like scraping against his face.
Yeah, not my face, but my shirt and things like that. I think that was the case. Because I locally recorded myself as well, because we were going to put them together. We're still kind of tweaking the audio a bit, but mostly because of me. I'm sorry. But in that situation, I was super sick and I was high on NyQuil, so I forgot my plug for my good mic. So I was reduced to that, and it was scraping against my shirt. And on my own local audio feed, it was far worse. So trust me, I spared you in some ways. But hopefully this week will be better, yeah. Yeah,
I think it will be. So Commander Code asks, what do you think of the RNG seed theory? Not sure if you guys have talked about it yet. I don't think we have. Hebrew, what do you think of the RNG seed theory?
So I honestly haven't watched the video. Roy's probably going to get mad at me for that. But for me, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I believe you did watch the video, but he was talking about basically how something seemed to carry over, like the character specifically seems to carry over sometimes. Like if you just pull him on something and then you go and pull him again on another thing. Is that what it was?
I think it was like he would do 3 or 4 gold orbs, and if he hit 1 million, then he would go to try to hit a character, and maybe he'd hit a character, maybe he wouldn't. So
okay,
that's kind of what it was.
The only thing I'll say, I guess, about that, because I don't really know I haven't seen that part in particular, but like hitting hard after if I hit 1 million, which has never happened, but theoretically, if I hit 1 million and then I go to another different mode to pull something else, I don't think I would hit hard in that one too, just because I hit hard in the other mode. But I definitely will say, and I've said this before in the podcast, not in a while, but I have definitely experienced parts where I just got done farming a character and then I go over to my premium orb and I pull, and then it's that character again. And I'm like, this just can't be coincidence. But then again, it might just be I'm noticing it, more because I just pulled that character or something. There's always things to skew your perception. So bottom line, I have no idea, and I've been rambling the past 5 minutes. But I think that there is something going on, and I definitely think that just from Red Stars alone, something sketchy with their percentages anyways, like their pull rates are just not accurate. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's something strange going on in the background, or the perception of something strange at least.
Yeah. So for those of you unaware, I am a programmer in my day job. So I have to do RNG work. I've done RNG work in games in the past. I think that what Roy's throwing out there is a fun little thing to play around with. I think that it's a good conversation piece. Do I think that's what's happening? No. If it is, or anything like that's happening, then it's just then we are playing an utter trash game that is that is subject to nothing but bot clicking to min max everything. Which part of me probably wouldn't be horribly surprised, but I think they're
about to say.
But so for those of you unfamiliar, typically an RNG seed is based off of So there's no way to get truly random from a computer, right? It's not on to impossible. There's no such thing as true randomness, but you can get really, really, really close. So it's how fine you want to cut that hair. And typically what happens is you use computer time and down to like the millisecond, because they are so much more accurate than us. So for that to be true, you would have to hit something within milliseconds of each other for it to really kind of use the same seed number. And that's just one way of doing it. That's probably not the way they're doing it, or they could be doing something else, but that's one way of doing it. But that is how most built-in algorithms are going to function. I have never seen a game take one number that's generated and use it in multiple places. Any game that does that, honestly, it's just lazy coding, because it's very simple to just pull the current time and do some quick math on it to generate a semi-random number. So we'll see. But like I said, I think it's fun. I'm glad Roy's enjoying it, and I'm glad people are enjoying it. And for people that I've heard have kind of trashed him on YouTube, shame on you. Shame on you for trashing him, because he is doing something that he loves for you guys. And there's no reason to trash him on that. So I don't, there's nobody here. But if that person is listening, shame on you. All right. Sorry. Man, Dorian gets defensive of people. So, Easy Touch 77 for Dorian. How's your Deadpool AIM meta team coming? It's really not. Hey, Deadpool 7-star. The AIM team's still coming along. I still think it's an interesting concept with all the debuffs being thrown up, and Deadpool just healing himself constantly off of those. So that could be kind of fun, but it's still AIM. I do it for fun, but San Fran Psycho asks, if you get the chance to turn any video game franchise into a movie, which would it be? It's okay if it's already been done, as long as you think you can do it better. This includes who you would choose as your director and who you'd cast as your leads. So Hebrew, I'll let you answer this one. What video game franchise?
Sorry, go ahead. This one's for me is very easy. It's League of Legends, for sure. I would love to have a League of Legends movie. I would kill for it. Even a TV show, I think, would actually probably even be better. But yeah, movie, League of Legends would be amazing. The director I would pick, oh boy. I'd probably pick, oh man, what's his name? I can't believe I'm blanking on his name right now. Guy that did the episode 1 of Star Wars, or not episode 1, but the J.J. Abrams. Thank you. J.J. Abrams is who I'd pick. That or Christopher Nolan, I suppose, too. But yeah, I would do that. My leads, oh God, I have no idea. Whoever tried out for the role best, I suppose. Probably, if I could have Daniel Craig in there somewhere, I'd probably pick him. Yeah, I don't know. Gosh, I can't think. I'm terrible at thinking on the spot, so I don't know who I'd pick yet. I'll come back to that afterwards. You go ahead and do yours now.
So if I had to pick one, I would probably do. I don't think I would do the entire game series. I would pick one specific title in the game. It would be Final Fantasy. And I know they did. I know they did the animation, but I would do Final Fantasy VII as a movie. Come on. Cloud, Tila, Sephiroth. I mean, who doesn't love some Final Fantasy VII? I would probably get James Cameron to direct. Boy, I don't know who I would get to play though. I'd have to think some more on the actors for that. 'Cause I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who I would get to be. I mean, they would obviously have to be younger. I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
It's too good of a question.
It is. It is. It is. It is really, really good, and I can't think of any like youngish actors that. I mean, for Tila, I don't know. Emma Watson, maybe. You think she should still be young enough to she could pull it off if you dyed her hair? Um, Who's the kid that was in Ready Player One?
Oh yeah, I'm not sure, but that guy would be pretty good.
He would be good as Cloud. Dye his hair red. He would be Cloud. But I don't know who for Sephiroth.
You need like a really like like moody, broody kind of guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very serious actor.
Yeah, you would have to need somebody very, very serious.
Yeah.
Did they give his age in here? Approximately 27 years old. So
I'll let you think on that. Or
older,
do you have one? Sorry.
No, I don't.
So for mine, I would probably pick. I was just thinking, and I would probably pick Childish Gambino would be Lucian for one, because I think he's an amazing actor. And then I'd probably pick for Twisted Fate. I'd probably pick actually the guy that was in Lost. I forgot what his name is now, but he played the kind of Western-y kind of guy. He wasn't actually Western. I don't know why I said that, but he was kind of like the con artist guy. I don't remember what his name is, but he'd be a perfect Twisted
Florida.
Fate, I think. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, he played Florida. Well, that was his nickname. Hold on, I can find it.
Yeah. And then I'd probably pick the guy that was in Kingsman, the lead character that's in Kingsman.
Ooh,
I'd pick him
Egerton.
for someone because I love him as an actor. He's an amazing actor.
Egerton.
Yeah. And I would also pick the guy that was in Kingsman with him, the bald guy that was in Kingsman with him. I love him as an actor as well. So they would all make it onto my list. I'd have to have a lot of money and a big budget, though.
Josh Holloway is Lost.
Okay.
Who's also in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Oh, yeah, he was, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yep.
Forgot about that. Oh, Batista would also be in mine as well, for sure, because he's just a badass in life. Yeah, do you want to move on to the next one, or are you still thinking about your?
I was still thinking about Sephiroth because you said somebody, and I was like, oh, actually, Egerton, Eggy from Kingsman would be might be able to do a good Cloud.
He's too short to be Cloud.
You think, Cloud wasn't that tall. Sephiroth was tall. Cloud wasn't super.
I know Sephiroth was tall, but Cloud was he's like short. Like I'm sorry, like. Eggy is like short, that actor. But then again, you could also pull something like
Cloud's only 5'7".
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
Cloud was only 5'7".
Really?
Yeah.
Is that actually true? Like that's the number? Wow. Then I think I guess
that is on.
He seems so much taller in my mind at least.
Yeah, that's the Final Fantasy. That's from the Final Fantasy Wikia. He was 21 in Final Fantasy 7.
Okay, well then, yeah, I mean he's 5'7". I'm pretty sure that he was like 5'7" or something.
Yeah. So,
but also someone that I didn't name. Sorry, we've taken way too long on this question already. But
really good
someone I didn't name was also, and once again I'm blanking on his name, and I don't know why because he probably is my favorite actor ever. But the guy that played Bane in Batman.
Oh, Tom, not Tom Holland. Not Tom Sizemore.
I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Anyone from audience?
Because he was also in Venom.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, exactly. He's in everything. He's amazing.
Hardy. Tom Hardy.
Yes,
thank you.
There we go. Tom Hardy. He's amazing. I would definitely put him in there too. Yep.
Yeah.
I think like all of my cast is mostly English besides Childish Gambino at this point. I just like English actors. But yeah, anyways, we should probably move on because this one has taken a while.
Yeah. Let's see. So. Sinister asks, I got lucky and got a 6-star Rocket and a 5-star Gamora. I officially hate you. So obviously I'm focusing on Guardians. My question is, with Mantis coming, which Guardian should I choose for my team? I was going to leave out Gamora, but since she has 5 red stars, I feel obligated to keep her. None of my other Guardians have over 2 red stars. I think we kind of answered that earlier. In raids, you're pretty much going to leave Groot out unless you're on a node where you need that extra healing, the death proofing, and that big burst from Rocket. In Arena, obviously you're leaving Mantis out. Also, which orange abilities are worth it for the Guardians? I'm afraid I don't have an answer for that one. I'll have to research that because Guardians haven't been big focus for me. So Hebrew, unless you know.
Guardians have been even less of a focus for me, so no, I don't know offhand. But yeah, we'll get with you and let you know.
Yeah. So, let's see. Good scrimshaw. Let's see. Hold on. Let me highlight that also, so we can. That's for a follow up. Bold that. Bold highlight. Okay. Let's see. Good scrimshaw asks with the Fox deal nearing completion. Fantastic Four and X-Men are on their way home, so they can be done properly. Hopefully, it looks like that Fantastic Four will be the first to enter the MCU, and X-Men will be more of a slower-seated introduction. So, how would you introduce the Fantastic Four to the MCU? Boy, I don't know if I even would right now.
Yeah, like I feel like there needs to be more distance
Yeah,
between the last one. It was just so bad.
I still haven't seen that. Haven't seen that.
Like, honestly, if
there's
you
somebody
come to
who
me
can
and
play,
say that you like it, then I literally have no faith in your movie critic abilities, because that was the most ridiculously terrible movie I've ever seen. It was so bad, it was laughable.
However, thinking about it real quick, Kate Mara could also play Tila from Final Fantasy VII if you dyed her hair black.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that the Fantastic Four are going to need at least a year. I would say 2020, 2021 at the earliest, as to bringing them into MSF. There are so many other teams and so many other people I'd rather see first. I mean, we are getting an X-Men movie, so, seeing some more X-Men coming in would be great. But I think we're going to see a lot of, we've got Spider-Man coming this summer. We've got an Infinity War coming this spring. I don't see any place really for anybody until we get into the fall, winter of later this year.
Yeah, especially since I think the next X-Men movie that we have coming is like the X-Men with the kids or something, right?
It's like Dark Phoenix.
A new Dark Phoenix?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that leads me to believe that it has what's-her-face in it? I can't believe Jean Grey is...
Yeah, it's the same girl that plays... It's all the cast from, the new X-Men.
Okay, that's interesting. I thought for some reason that I remember seeing some kind of commercial for something related to X-Men, that it was kind of going in from what I thought after the Wolverine movie, Logan, and it was like all of these kids, and it was almost kind of like horror-esque.
That's a TV show.
See if I can...
I think it's a TV show.
Is it?
I think so.
Is it? I thought it was an
Maybe.
incoming movie. Yeah, New Mutants. Maybe that was it.
Oh, the New Mutants.
So yeah, I was thinking that was the next one. I didn't remember Dark Phoenix coming in, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So either way, though, with the merger, I'm glad that they're coming to a studio that I have more faith in. But they definitely hit the mark sometimes. Fox. But either way, I'm glad that they're going to all be just in one area where everyone can be easily accessed, for crossovers and everything like that. And definitely, I want Fantastic Four to come, but it was just so bad that I think it just does need more time in between. And people just need to literally forget that other one even existed, just because, I think they did 3 movies for the Fantastic Four prior to the reboot. The first one was like, okay.
No, there were 2. I don't think there was a third.
Was there only 2?
Yeah,
maybe
there was
you're
the
right.
Fantastic Four, and then there was the really bad one with Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
and
okay,
Mini
yeah, maybe
Galactus.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it was just those 2. But the first one was meh, and the second one was terrible. So I just feel like it's radioactive right now. I feel like you just need more time. But
yeah,
for X-Men, I'm excited for it to be under the right ship, because regardless of what people, some people like or dislike of Marvel movies, they've hit the mark every single time. If you look on Rotten Tomatoes, like, their scores are always high.
Yeah.
So I have faith in them to at least always do something to what I walk out saying is a good movie. So yeah, I'm excited.
Side question: do you think there's a good chance of us getting the Fantastic Four added to MSF this year? Maybe in one of the months where there isn't a film release to tie into. I know that someone has speculated on that. I don't know. Maybe not. With this company, you can never tell.
I would say yes, just because of what I had said before. I still think that they did the work of putting in his character model for Doctor Doom. I think that he's going to be coming. So, whether it was just for that little tiny, event or not for Gamma, we'll see. But I think that his character model was put in for, it's already in there. They might as well do it. He has to come eventually anyways, and he's one of the biggest villains in Marvel. So, and I think you can introduce them without having at least, one of the Fantastic Four in the game. So, I think that basically they're going to be coming probably within the year, I would say.
Yep, we'll see. Let's see. And so then Pope Jesus Christ asks, do you think something like the leadership abilities in Galaxy of Heroes would be a good way to shake up the meta and add some versatility and strategy back into team composition? I think we've talked about this in the past, or maybe Muggin and I did. I can't remember, but I know I've had a discussion with somebody about leadership abilities in this game. And I think early on, I kind of wanted that. But I think as the game has gone on, I kind of like the fact that there's no leadership ability. Because a lot of the hero teams, outside of the Avengers, a lot of them just don't. They're mostly mashups, right?
Yeah.
Or just about anybody can come in and take over as a leader. So I don't think they need to add leadership capabilities at this point in the game. If they do, I would like to see it happen in a year or so. Let the game mature just a little bit more because, we're now 2 months away from the 1 year anniversary, and they really need to do something good for the 1 year anniversary.
I agree with that for sure. I will say, and this is a question for you before I answer this, with Star Wars, I don't remember offhand, did everyone have leader abilities, or was it just some characters had leader abilities?
Not everyone, but everyone.
Most people?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I kind of remembered. All right, so yeah, I honestly think that I would probably like that, but I could be wrong. Whenever I had that, I could be like, oh no, why did I ask for this? But I will say this for sure. I would have preferred something like that as a shakeup to Red Stars, and I hope that they go to something like that as a shakeup far before the idea of something like Green Stars or Purple Stars ever comes around, because I swear to God, if they go to something like that, I'm gonna quit this game.
Oh, it'll be bad.
No way. I'm
so
getting
bad.
another layer of fucking stars on this game. But excuse me. But yeah, so I think that it would be interesting to see though. I kind of like and miss that a little bit from Star Wars.
You can get back into it. I can find you a home. So anyway, just don't ever do Sigma. Eyes can't read. How do you guys handle new characters you unlock? I find unless it's a character I'm planning for new ones, just sit around 5 to 10K for weeks or longer. Yeah, pretty much the same. I'll typically bring. It used to be when we didn't have as many characters as we have now. I would bring everybody up to like level 20, tier 4 or tier 5, just to make them kind of Blitz tier 1 viable or Blitz tier 2 viable. But other than that, unless it's somebody I plan on using anymore, and if I don't have red stars on them, I'm not wasting it. I'm not wasting resources on them.
Yeah, for me, I'm in the same situation as that. Especially with the introduction of red stars, it's incredibly hard to really make a new character viable that isn't start out, unless you get really lucky with some red stars. And then even then, like let's say you got War Machine, right, and you had a 7-star red drop on him, right? But you're only going to be able to get them to probably 3 stars tops right now, unless you're really throwing down a lot of money. So it just makes them really hard to be viable in any kind of really meaningful way. The best thing that you're looking at is really a stepping stool right now in your blitz ladder. So yeah, I would say unless there's someone that's going to be very easily farmed in the future for one reason or another, I would say you have a pretty good shot at someone that's getting a character event and a raid, because from what I've seen so far with people like Juggernaut, like yeah, you can actually get them up fairly high from just those two things. So
if I agree with that, if you're in a guild that's able to finish,
yes,
I mean, if you're not doing the Gamma 4, I doubt you're getting Juggernaut as high.
That is 100% true. Yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, as long as you are in that position to unlock him frequently or get orbs from him frequently from whatever reason or method they use, then yeah. Other than that, though, people that just get an event or a blitz or something like that, no, probably not, because you're not going to be able to really farm them and make them super useful until they're farmable, and even then, it'll take a while to make them to bring them up to that level that you want, farming them every day. So
yeah. Let's see. So Razor Rock then asks, would you rather have a polar vortex for a week or Florida August weather for a month? I'll answer that one and tell you directly, polar vortex for a week.
I would have the heat. I'd take the heat for sure.
Yeah, you can always warm up, man. You can never cool down enough. You can only take off so many clothes.
Yeah, I agree with you, but just being snowed in like crazy would be like, to me. Like, I don't like the idea of me like basically being snowed into my house. But I will say I agree with you, but I know that I'm not going to die from the weather, and if I do, I die. But if it gets just too hot that I won't even walk outside, then yeah, I'll stay inside. That's not too big of a deal. But if we're talking like killer weather where I am going to die, where it's unreasonably high, then then I'll take the cold. Like super extremes, I'm taking cold because it's exactly the reason why you said. But with realistic temperatures, yeah, I'm going to take the heat.
Yeah, I prefer cold. It's one of the things I miss living in the South, or Southish now, is I miss all that snow. So.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm also very scared to drive whenever there is snow because I don't trust anyone. I've almost been hit several times whenever we go out there. So it's just people can't handle it, and I don't trust other drivers.
Nobody anywhere knows how to drive on snow and ice, man. I've found that. I love, one of the things I love the most is watching these people with these big 4x4s going, by golly, I got me a big 4x4. I can go right wherever I want to. Not when all four tires hit ice, brother. You get no traction. You screwed.
I love how the automatic accent for anyone that's just stupid is Southern.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
It just always goes automatically to that. Well, gosh darn it, brother.
Yeah. Let's see. So, good Scrimshaw, thoughts on the Kree rework. Also, in there was teased another unreleased character. Do you think it's Captain Marvel, and will she have synergy with the Kree? I hope not. She should help make the Avengers great again, not Kree. So, we talked about this earlier. I think that obviously Captain Marvel is coming. I do think she will have synergy with the Kree, and I think she will have synergy with the Avengers as well. But maybe not this version of Captain Marvel, because this is going to be well before the Avenger time. So I don't know, maybe, but I think she's definitely going to have Kree synergy. But I don't think she's the teased character. I just don't. Something about it feels wrong to me. But I've been known to be wrong before. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to leave my answer as pretty much the same. I think it is Captain Marvel, but you reminded me of a very good point that it could easily be someone else from the movie that they're going to introduce as well. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, and knowing that Minerva is going to be in the movie, I think that's a high possibility. Let's see. Urbane Raven asks, since Ronan will be made into another villain summoner, which hero characters do you think will be a summoner? Only one I can think of is Odin or Black Bolt. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. Nobody's coming to mind as a summoner. I mean, you could probably make Strange a summoner, perhaps. But other than that, unless we get more hero minions, I just don't see anybody else on the hero side.
Yeah.
And then so Pope Jesus Christ asks, what is the leveling the Me6 bot posts in the live chat? So I've made some updates to the Discord, and one of the things I added was the Me6 bot because it did some nice stuff in the background. And one of the things that it adds is kind of it means nothing, but it's kind of a fun ranking system for the Discord, where the more you type, the more experience you get, and the more experience you get, the higher levels. So it's just a way for Discord users to kind of track their activity against each other, and maybe make their own little internal, rivalries and competitiveness. So that's all that's for. It doesn't mean anything in particular. It's just there for fun. So, and I am still working on a lot of the Discord stuff. I think I've got all our partner, quote unquote, all our content creators there, with the ability for people to add themselves to get notifications when they do videos. And then the videos will basically auto post into their channels. If your content, if you have a content creator you don't see there, sorry, they're still welcome to post in our content creator channel. So, but yeah, that's where we are, and that wraps up our grab bag for the week. So Hebrew, surprise, surprise, we're under 2 hours.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So,
thank God.
Right? But before we get out of here, for those of us that are, or for those in the audience that are still here, and let's see, and if PJC is listening to us in his store for all his customers, that I'm sure they're all dying to know, who you farming?
So I am farming everything Kree now. That is what I will be doing for the next few weeks at least. So yeah, I plan on going incredibly hard on Kree, because I will not be in the same situation that I was in for Shield. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing Kree like crazy. Excuse me. I have everyone to almost 6 stars, so that'll be good. Ronan isn't leveled up very much, but I am going to have to go hard on him. But yeah, so I'm in a pretty good place with them already. I'm going to have to put some gear into them. That's the biggest thing. So yeah, it's just mostly farming shards and farming gear for them. But it's going to be all Kree all the time now. What about you?
I'm staying the course. I'm with my defenders and aim. Yeah. So let me. I probably should have mentioned this earlier when we were talking about the Kree rework, but this is really kind of why I just detest this rework. Almost everybody and their brother has Kree at a reasonable level, right? So instead of adding a new team in or adding anything kind of newish, they're just giving everybody another super powerful team to use, that they've already done. And it's just, I appreciate the fact that they're getting a rework, but they're freaking minions, man. I'm tired of minions being made more powerful than base heroes in this game. I don't like the fact that, we were forced to farm Kree to get Fury. And now, hey, congratulations, here's another team you can use for just because. There's nothing new here. There's no new strategy. There's no new, team comps. I don't know. I understand why they're doing it, because the Kree needed something, I guess, but I just felt that there was much more they could have done before this. So
I will say
that's just my thing.
Yeah, and I will say that I do agree with you to a point. I think that this needed to happen, though, because they needed to be... I hated having to invest so much in an entire group of characters just to get one particular character. I didn't like that. So I'm glad that they made them viable for that reason, but I know that they're going to go overboard with it. And so, yeah, I know what you mean. Like the Avengers being destroyed by the Kree minion team and Ronan is annoying, and it doesn't make much sense. But that being said, these are newer. Like this rework is newer than them. They'll have their day as well. Like I fully believe that the Avengers, everyone will eventually get reworked in time for however long this game lasts. Like I promise you, or older characters will be updated and they will be better. That's power creep. That's what's just going to happen.
Yeah. But
so
the problem is they've been teasing out this rework for a long time, and then some people are just going to have insta meta teams, and it,
yeah,
I just, oof.
That was the issue
lazy.
that they put
It's lazy
in.
for me.
But that was the issue that this was going to happen inevitably because of what they did for the farming strategy for Shield. Like, this is just something that was going to eventually happen. This isn't like their fault now. It was their fault then, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it's just a compounding issue, but it just irks me. It just
one and the same, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I mean, look, I'm happy for people that, maybe there are people out there that don't have I'm sorry. If you've got a good Kree team, then odds are you've got a good Fury. So, I mean, congratulations. Now you've got 2 meta teams for the price of one. I mean, that's really, that's not fair because the Shield's a pain in the rear end to gear up. That's no doubt. But I mean, you really are getting 2 meta teams out of Fury basically. So
absolutely,
congratulations.
100%.
Congratulations.
I'm just glad that my investment will finally be valid. Like, that's all I care about.
I think your investment was valid because you got Fury, man, and Fury was the meta, and Fury is still creates the greatest team in this game.
But I hate having to farm a shit team just to get one good character. I feel like that's just so annoying to me.
Have you never played these types of games before? That's just how it goes.
Well, yeah, but that I can still have a problem with something that happens a lot in these games. I mean, I have several problems that happen in this game.
That's very fair. I'm just, it's not every team has to be reworked to be made awesome.
Yeah, and I've mentioned this before. I don't think that they should be reworked to be crazy, but this team is looking like they're going to be crazy.
Yep.
And therefore I have them, and I'm happy for it. For that purpose. But when you look at it for as far as like the story is concerned and where people should be placed based on who they are, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and I don't like it for those reasons.
Yeah. So,
but I play competitively, so
right.
For this works out, and it's finally validation for something that a lot of us have had to do that was annoying for a long time.
I will say this is probably going to kick off the whales a bit.
Yeah,
because this does not they don't get to keep a competitive advantage with this. So
yeah,
but we'll see what they do. They could have blown smoke, and then we get, hey, yeah, Ronan got 5 more speed, yay!
Yeah, that would have been worse, I think.
So well, I mean, we still don't know how much he's getting, so we don't know any numbers yet.
That is very true, but I feel comfortable saying that they will at least be good.
I hope so. I hope for everybody that decides to put work into them that they are good. Because if not, then, there's going to be more pitchforks and torches, and this game does not need more of that. So,
yep.
All right. I think, was there anything else that you wanted to say this week, Hebrew?
No, that pretty much covers it. I bet that we're probably just about over 2 hours now with that. But, yeah, I just want to say thanks for everyone for coming by listening live. We really appreciate it. And thanks everyone of our Patreons. And yeah, thanks for coming by. We'll see you next week.
Yep, absolutely. We do want to thank you for listening to the Ravager Report. If you'd like to become a part of our active and interactive community, you can do so at our Discord channel at discord.me/Ravager Report. Please remember that is a URL, not a Discord invite. If you'd like to send us an email, you can email us at theravagerreport@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at RavagerRepo. If you like what you hear and would like to help support our show, you can join our patrons at patreon.com/Ravager Report, where our subscription levels ranging from $2 to $20. We have added a new feature to the $5 where you do get the show a day or two early, and you get the full uncut, unedited version. We also want to send out a great big thank you to all of our current patrons and let you know that we appreciate your support. We wouldn't be here without you guys. Until next week, keep fighting, true believers.